It really does give me great pleasure and is a real honour to read the citation for Peter getting this very prestigious award. Nick's already said that he's been involved in a lot of people's careers over the years, and I'm just one of them. I first met Peter when I was a junior trainee, and then I've come through as a senior trainee, and now as a consultant colleague. So he's really shown me his whole range of attributes in terms of being a teacher, in terms of being a mentor, in terms of being a colleague, and in terms, I think, of being a friend. And to a lot of you here, he's many of those things as well. His citation is that Peter's come from a strong surgical family. So it wasn't really surprising when he went into a surgical career himself, gained his medical degree at the University of Otago, and then started off in the Auckland region doing general surgical training, being awarded the Fellowship in General Surgery back in 1972. Not long after that, he went out to Vietnam for 18 months and returned from there to become one of Whangarei Hospital's first formal general surgical trainees, and his name still appears on our board on the surgical corridor, along with quite a lot of other luminaries of the surgical world. He completed his general surgical training, moving from Whangarei down to Auckland, but then came a bit of a change in career for Peter, and that's when really his very close association with Northland, and particularly the Mid-North, started up when he became a GP in Mariwa in the Bay of Islands. It wasn't long, however, before his surgical skills were called on again, and he was started off as a part-time surgeon as well as being a general practitioner in Kawakawa Hospital in the Bay of Islands there, a hospital for which he still has a very strong affinity for, and later he became their superintendent. Now, because Peter's a man of many skills, not only was he involved in general surgery, but he also branched out into obstetrics. Supported by the obstetricians in Whangarei, there was certainly, I think, an era in a period of time rather, when Peter was probably responsible for most of the babies born in the Mid-North. No, I should clarify that, yes. Delivering most of the babies in the Mid-North. He was also at that stage starting to become very, very involved with the community and really developed a strong advocacy for regionalised care. Back in the 90s, Peter returned to general surgery full-time, initially in Kawakawa and then down in Whangarei Hospital. Peter was involved in the streamlining of general surgical care throughout Northland. Sometimes a very difficult time, a lot of climate of opposition in places, but Peter took this role on and started to streamline both acute and the elective care of general surgical patients, but always throughout this time ensuring that the communities and the rural hospitals were really very well served. This continued up in Kaitaia Hospital particularly, where for many a year he was a stalwart up there, providing the vast majority of the surgery that was done up there. Throughout his career, he continued to take up opportunities to upskill, and particularly in plastic surgery, where I actually met Peter for the first time down in Millimore Hospital, where he was doing an upskilling in plastic surgery. And I remember thinking at that time, here was a surgeon who was a bit older, let's be honest, a bit older, but was still very willing to upskill. And he brought those skills to Northland and was instrumental in really starting the skin service that we have up here and we continue today. As well as his clinical roles, there was roles in administration as the clinical head of department and also as the director of surgery for the whole DHB. And he also organised the New Zealand Association of General Surgeons conference in Waitangi a few years ago. It's his personality, his expertise, and his ready availability over the years has made him hugely popular with junior staff, consultant colleagues, and probably particularly the nursing staff as well. And as a consequence, just like Jerry, his time here has made Whangarei a very popular run for general surgical trainees. Outside of work, we know Peter's got an enormous number of other interests. He's really got a very eclectic mix of interests and a very deep knowledge in those, particularly music, literature, and we all know about his gardening prowess as well. And that's led to his popularity. It meant that conversations were never boring, and he also had this encyclopedic memory, and he could talk to all comers about all sorts of things. Frustrating at times because his ward rounds would take forever, because he'd always be talking to the patients not just about their medical conditions, but also about the family who he invariably knew, and quite a few of those people he'd probably brought into this world as well. I think that this award, therefore, is very fitting for Peter. It recognises outstanding service to the community, and it's only fitting, therefore, that it goes to somebody who's shown that commitment to the community in so many ways and for so many years to the people of Auckland. Thank you. Northland.
I want to acknowledge the support I've had in my career. None of what I did, it didn't seem like service. It mostly seemed like fun, actually. It's truly a privilege to be acknowledged and recognised by your colleagues, and I think that's something which Jerry would agree with me is probably the most gratifying thing that you can achieve. Thank you.
Nothing like some of the people who are in this room, because I didn't become a surgeon, but I know there are a number of people in the room, because of their experiences with either Jerry or Peter, it shaped their careers, and there must be hundreds and hundreds of people like that in New Zealand. And then I think of all the patients, the thousands and thousands of patients that they've helped. Both of your contributions to the health of our community has been phenomenal.
It's fitting to note that life has dealt him some hard cards to play. Many of you will be aware of this. Peter's family, the inspiring, beautiful and talented Jerry, and their amazing children, some of whom are here tonight, your support of Peter's challenges is truly appreciated by all of us. I know that he is made complete by you all, and he'd be the first to say that without you, he would be less of a person. To you, Peter, my friend, I trust your journey is now calm and as trouble-free as possible. Thank you on behalf of us all for enriching our lives in such a uniquely positive and enchanting manner. I do not seek applause for what I've said tonight. Please give that to our beloved Peter.